What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another day on the beautiful planet Earth, I guess. That's the greatest intro you'll probably ever hear when it comes to talking about eBay. So, since we're here to talk about eBay, let's talk about eBay and look at eBay and have fun with eBay. As you can see, the impressions are going up. And so we were at, what is that, 89, almost 90,000. Some of you that is nothing, to others that is a ton. Yesterday we hit 81,000. So our, excuse me. Oh, and today we're at 21,000. So our impressions are going up. Quantity sold, we had a high point here of 6, and then we've just kind of been 2. There was 3, 2, 2, 2. We've already sold 1 today. Someone sent me an offer on something that I'm going to accept, so we'll get at least 2 in the books today, and maybe more. So if you want to look at just the past week, you can kind of see, or I'm sorry, not the past week, since the beginning of December, you can kind of see, we had 89, well, 90,000 pretty much right there. So it kind of took, and now it's going back up. How many are we selling per day? So this is what, 10 days? 2.7 per day is what we're selling right now for the month of December on average. So again, we're kind of churning forward. Now, I've changed things. So we all know that I have the first store. It has 3,200 items in it now, I think. A lot of those are not the best items. I haven't listed in there. I'll just go around and every now and then I'll play with some listings and fix titles, that kind of thing. I'm only listing in the second store because we are trying to turn this ship around. The first store took the big dip a couple years back and it hasn't really recovered. I kind of thought it was cursed, so I created the second store with my business partner. We were like, I don't know, let's just let's maybe try a second store. It was kind of like last ditch effort. We either continue with the first store while we're listing and seeing no results. I was listing every day in that store. Walk away from eBay and go to a different site. Stop doing this e-commerce business altogether. Start a second store. So we chose to start a second store. um, Only putting good items because I really had started to learn. 2023, late 2023, all of this year, really started to learn, the brands, the money aspect of the business. Well, not just the money aspect, because I understand, I don't want to say I understand everything, but I have a good understanding of how business works, making money, all that stuff, right? Um, but sell through rate, what it means, how to calculate it, um, how to get the data for it, all that stuff. Like, I really started to understand what makes a product good and what makes a product bad. And so I was able to impart that knowledge into the second store. So that's why we started the second store. Now, second store has 1,000 items. Like I said, the first store has, we'll say 3,200. So I have these 3,200 items. Excuse me. And I don't know percentage wise. Maybe it's 50-50. I don't know. But I do have good items in that store. So I started thinking, look, 5 and 6 items listing a day. It's not it's okay if you're first starting out, right? To do that. My problem is we were making a lot of money, right? And so everything was going well. I was buying all this inventory, and then when eBay in the matter of 2 months just cut everything by 2/3, our sales and our traffic, obviously we lost 2/3 of our income, but we still had bills from buying all this inventory, right? And so it's like, oh, so now it's like a new store starting with debt is what it was because we were literally starting back over again. So what I decided to do was, why don't we take some of that stuff out of the first store and put it in the second store as long as it's good stuff? So we're doing that now, and we're kind of all in here. We're doing 15 a day, but I can still do this and keep my costs low because I'm not actually purchasing inventory. It's inventory that's just sitting here doing nothing for me. because it's in the first store, and the first store is just it could be tainted. I don't know. I think there was some glitch that happened with my store because I didn't do anything differently. But anyways, so that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna take, or we are taking, um, and we're listing 15 a day. But a lot of that is coming from that first store, and it's it's only good items. So, um, and I'm still buying inventory as well. Not that much, obviously, but um, just just buying some. So so between the two, I think things are well. You can see that my traffic is picked back up, right? Because I started doing this on the 8th. Okay, it's only a couple days, so we don't really have a great data set. It's also the beginning of the week. My weekends are high, then it dips down to about Wednesday, then starts going back up for the weekend again. When I was really rocking and rolling in my first store, it would be nothing for me to ship out 70 items on a Monday, 80 items. Um, it was a lot. We were selling, at the height, we were selling 25 to 30 a day. So, like I said, we had this success going. I mean, here we're looking at what, 10 days selling 27? I was doing that in a day. So, that's what I'm saying. eBay just, I don't know what the error was. But again, I changed nothing. Um, and So now we're starting over, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to take those items that are just sitting here on the shelves, and we're going to get money for them. The other thing too is going through all this has been a good learning experience because, and there's many different ways to look at this. Everyone has their own like minimum price they're willing to take on something. Excuse me, but like let's say I have something listed for like $28. Okay, if someone offers me like $5, I'm not going to take it, right? 15, I'm not going to take it. And again, let's just say this is an item that's good and 28 is not the top of the market. Maybe like 32 is. If someone offers me over $20, I'm probably going to take it because at $20, I'm still doubling my money, maybe even a little more. I'd have to look at the exact numbers. I can't remember. I don't have it in my head. I thought it was around 13 something that I made on a $20 sale. Right? And it's going to be different for everyone based on their cost of goods, what they're promoting at, all that different stuff. So if you can double your money, that's pretty good. So that would mean, if it was $13, I could go buy two more items and put $1 in the bank rather than let that item sit there, wait another month, and maybe I get $28, but it takes 2 more months. So I've also learned that it's that money in and out as quick as possible, right? If I'm putting that money out there, meaning I'm purchasing inventory, that money needs to come back quick. I can't wait 6, 12, 18, 24 months. Some of the stuff I've had for 2 years. So it needs to go, right? That's another thing that'll ruin your small business is you're rich in inventory, but you're poor in cash, right? So um, that's the kind of thing that I'm trying to get away from. So going through this experience is it's taught me a lot about how eBay works. It's taught me a lot about business. Um, I've had businesses in the past, but they were totally different. And so for me, as long as I can continue learning as I go through this process, I'm okay with failing. I don't want to fail. I'm not trying to fail. But if I fail at something and learn, that's great because how many times are you successful and then you stop and think, why are we so successful? What did we do? How did we get to this point? Now, usually people only think about how they got how things were successful, what they did to be successful once a problem arises. You usually don't think about it as you're being successful and everything's going great. So I'm glad that I was able to fail and then look at what caused the failure. Now, I don't know exactly what caused the eBay failure. I think it was a combination of things because, again, we didn't change anything different, but something changed. And so, what that did was it really taught me about looking at my items, how long something takes to sell. Not sailing, sell. Anyways, but how long something takes to sell, uh, just all the things in the listing, you know, how to look at Terapeak or just entering an item on eBay and looking at, oh, there's 92,000 of these. Okay, the sell-through rate is 10% every 90 days. Ooh. So 10 times 10 is 100. Yikes. That's a long time. 10% every 90 days. That's not good. So, anyways, um, it really puts things in perspective, and it almost, when you understand all that about sell-through rate, it auto qualifies your items. So it takes the pressure off you because you're like, oh, I can't make money on this. Okay. But it's a Nike whatever. I thought Nike was good. Yeah, it's a lot of people like it, but that doesn't mean you're going to sell it. And that doesn't mean you're going to make money off of it if you do sell it, right? So you got to know. So that doing that really made things easy going into a thrift store because it sped up the time. One, I wasn't researching items. I still, every now and then, I'll come across an item I don't know and I have to research it. But um, knowing, building your knowledge before you go to the thrift store, you can just you'll know the brands. Everything's auto qualified. You know what you're actually looking for. You're not just thinking, oh, this should be good. Because in the beginning, I thought everything sold. It will. It's just at what price. Um, and you got to know those things. So I don't know. I hope that helps someone out there. I do have some more good items coming. So Facebook group connections I've made throughout the years. Um, I definitely think it can help other people. So hopefully we'll get some people to join over there. And yeah, just continue plugging away. If you have any questions, let me know. But I just think, keeping it real simple and basic in your store is great. Understanding what sells and then just getting more of that. That's the way forward for me, anyways, at the 15 today. Excuse me. And we'll see how high it can go. We'll see if this works. I think it will. So excuse me, we'll go from there. All right, well, I appreciate everyone joining, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.